Good evening, everybody. Thank you guys for being so patient. I was knocked out of sleep. I didn't feel good. I took my medicine and I went to sleep. Put some lip gloss on. So, how's everybody doing? I was getting refreshed per Dolly's statement. Refresh, rejuvenate. Oh no, I guess I was relaxing and rewind. Thank you, Antoinette. Please hit the like button, everyone. Put some lip gloss on. This doesn't look too bad. How was your day? Hi, Angela. Good afternoon. I almost said morning. Good afternoon. Hi, Hope. Welcome in. How are you? Catch my breath. Angela Atkinson. Good night. Hope, Angela. Hi, Miss Fatal. Welcome in. Hi, Trap Star. Good evening. Nature, Sabrina. Again, hi, Simply. I apologize again. I was knocked out of sleep and I kept hearing the alarm. I guess I just had to catch up. You guys doing okay? Oh boy. Did you have a full day today? Were there more skits that were worth watching? God, it's so good to see you all. I was like, oh my God, my people, my show. So now I'm just like terrified, not knowing what to do. Just say, I get nature. I guess so. I had to because middle of the day, I went to sleep. I mean, just knocked out. The Ant and Amber versus Shayla and Angelina. I did watch the skits. There were no new skits. That's good. The last one I saw was, was it Angelina telling Shayla something about Amber being dark spirited, or the one Anthony keeping her back in the house again, and Dave called. I don't know which one was which. I know you guys will help me. Come on in, ladies. Leave a thumbs up. Thank you, Angela Atkinson, at the door, and take your seat, please. Grab your wine, grab your water. We are here, so if you need to do something, please go ahead and do so. Whew. Miss Sabrina's in the house. Trapstar, how are you? Hi, Denise Frazier. So, what did you guys think of the AAS storyline today? And Kai going off on Angelina again. I think Kai should be about 1.5 though, because we watched him on these skits from birth. And Miss B was on this morning with me, and we're well, not me, but people were saying maybe he was a little bit older, but I think he's about a 1.5-year-old. You know, his birthday is in September. Yeah, Angelina seems like she's losing her mind. She acts like she wants to marry Anthony. But yeah, Kai is coached, but I think Kai does a lot of that really well. And he's around adults all the time, I would think. He'll be 2 September 1st. So, I thought he was age appropriate, but probably because, some kids are just vocal. I remember they kept him quiet for a long time. Angelina needs to be put in a straitjacket. She does. Is Angelina in love with Anthony, or is she just determined to get that money from who she calls a not too bright guy? She does need to be put in a straitjacket. Yeah, Kai is very natural. I think, some kids you can teach them, like, if you hear Amber say no, and they'll remember. So it's, yeah, I think it's both. Oh, gosh. I'm still catching my breath. You have no idea. I looked at the clock and it's at 7:05. It's like, oh, 7:05. Let's see. I don't have any light. Give me a second, okay? Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that in front of the camera, but didn't want to leave you in the dark again. Okay. Let me read some comments. I see you guys are on fire about Angelina, huh? Okay. And me, I'm not tripping on Angelina per se, but I actually want to know what you think about Dave's conversation with Amber, the last one. Okay. Hi, Nonya. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, let me go down here. I want to see the first Angelina. It was an interesting day. Amber's looking like she's a hostage again. And Angelina is looking like she's madly in love and desperate for Anthony. This is your mother-in-law. I'm your mother-in-law. Are you not? Okay. Good evening, good evening. Trapstar says, I'm pretty good. Still settling down from a crazy busy week. You know, I miss those days, but I don't want to go back. Trapstar, I miss it, but I don't miss it. And then working from home too, I don't miss it. So good job, hang in there. You guys, you got this. It'll be two again September 1st. Hold on, I dropped my cord for the laptop. I'm discombobulated, huh? You guys have never seen me like this. Okay. And then let's see, Trapstar says, Kai is the only good thing in in Shayla, Angelina, and Anthony skits. I love the way he corrects them. You know, let's hope they don't let Kai turn into a little monster. Because, I mean, he's cute right now. And I adore Kai. I just love Kai. But Kai is going to be on one in a few minutes, telling everybody off except Amber. He's gonna be letting them have it. But he really gets upset when he hears Angelina say Amber's name. Isn't that something? Like he knows who Amber is. But I mean, wow. He's so cute though. And he gets the MVP for the day. Nature said there was just one skit after Dave and Angelina's dark spirit. Oh, I saw the when Anthony breaks down to Amber. You know what I think of that. He didn't break down enough. I don't believe Anthony for 1 second. How many of you guys believe Anthony? I don't know how to do polls. I'm going to practice, but you have to be live. I did get the instructions on how to do it because the software doesn't come with it. It's something that certain people, a couple of people know how to do. You know, I'm going to practice. Not today, though. But I have the, you know, my notes on how to do it. So eventually, why don't I put that on my list of things to do so I can take a poll. Angelina, I don't feel like Anthony is being real. He's not. He's going to milk that sickness for everything he can. And he's going to try to get Amber in that bed. And maybe that's what I didn't like. Sorry. Maybe that's what I didn't like about Dave being so graciously polite. I think maybe just conscientiously, I wanted him to want Amber to come over, you know, but we know Amber's not going to do that. So he was extremely gracious. I just wonder, was he too gracious or maybe not? I could be overthinking it as usual. Trapstar says, Angelina let Brody go because she thought Shayla was getting Anthony. She did, and she still kept him on the back burner. And now he's going to get involved with Sincerely, and no telling what's going to happen. Yes, I'm a fortune predictor this evening. He's going to get himself into all kind of hot water. And then Trapstar continued to say she thought she was going to move in on the guest. Oh, wait a minute. What now? Shayla was getting Anthony. She thought she was going to move in the guest house. Oh, or better into the main house. So Shayla's mind is back there, you think? And was Angelina's little head nod something from New Orleans that they use to get what they want? Do you guys see that? You think that might have been, basically voodoo, witchcraft, whatever you want to call it, dark spirits that Angelina used yesterday on Shayla? Anthony needs to put his foot down and set boundaries for their home. Sabrina, he does, but we know he won't. He just won't. We've been screaming for boundaries for forever and ever. I mean, we can't stop asking for it, but no one seems to have boundaries if you really think about it. Let's see. He was talking to Angelina, Anthony, and Shayla, and Anthony. He was talking to Angelina. Anthony and Shayla were in the kitchen together. Is that today? No, that wasn't today, right? Is that the one from Friday or Saturday? Simply says, Anthony had a breakdown and spiritual breakthrough. You think so, Simply? I think this is the beginning of his change. You think so, Simply? You guys, I mean, it's fine for you to think that. I just think that Anthony, I'm not buying it. Not yet. I don't believe it. I think he wants to keep Amber there in that house. I've seen Anthony do it before. We all have. But this time it's a little more serious because Amber wants to go and Amber is going to go. And Anthony knows it. Anthony also knows she has somebody else. And I think that's why he is playing this to a level 10. Simply, that's what I think. He's milking this for everything. And he wasn't struck by a lightning bolt. But we shall see, Simply. So I like your thought. This may very well be the beginning of his change of character. If he had had a real heart attack, I could get behind that, Simply. If it had been a real heart attack, but it wasn't. It was, again, Anthony is hard-headed, right? So if it had been a real heart attack, I could see that. Because the last time this happened, when Amber found him, she was wearing that purple and white outfit. When he came back to, he did basically the same thing about the way he was acting. And he kept moving the same way he was already moving. But there's always a possibility. So Simply, we're keeping our eye out for him, okay? Everybody, I'm keeping my eye out on Anthony and Dave at this point. Now, I love Dave. Hey, Dave. I love Dave. But his conversation for me was very comfortable. And I do want to know, if you don't mind, what you all think about Dave's conversation with Amber. Was it just me hoping that he'd be a little more, not forceful and say, oh, come over or anything, but he's so agreeable. And that's a lot of agreeable. But I mean, it was appropriate. He said all the right things. It was a perfectly delivered speech. And that troubles me. Okay. None, just relax. You know, we're all looking. Oh, thank you, Angela. Okay, let me. Woosah. I mean, I was in there knocked out in my bed. Okay, Nature says Kai is really smart. The little remote guard. He loves his remote control. He's going to zap Angelina with it. Didn't want to hand it to Shayla, but he gave it to Angelina. He never wanted to give her the remote. He always wanted to keep it. Miss Fatal, good afternoon. And let's see. Afternoon naps are the best. Yeah, but I have a show at 7, and it's 7 p.m. Eastern. I mean, not Pacific. So it's bright outside. But I took the medication, and it's not even medication that can make you go to sleep. So simply keep me grounded and focused on Anthony, okay? And let's watch his movements. And I don't want him to convince Amber to get in that bed because I think that's what's next. So let's keep an eye on him and keep me focused on Anthony, please. Okay, Trapstar says the problem is Anthony doesn't correct them and put them in their place. He still doesn't. And Angelina she's become a tyrant. She has the audacity to call this man's home and talk about she's his mother-in-law. And how dare he not let the baby come over there? They use the baby so much that, you see, we know people who use their children to get the spouse to do what they want or whatever. Angelina is using baby Kai like a chess piece. And it's really, really sad. He will never be able to keep a wife as long as Shayla and Angelina are around. Correct. A pure life of misery. Mm-hmm. And if he goes and gets back with Shayla for some reason, he's not going to be happy because Angelina's going to be, just like Shayla was in that marriage, Angelina's going to be in there 5 times worse, 10 times worse if he marries Shayla. Yeah. And not even marry her, just get with her. So Hope says gaslighting at its finest. I think Amber made her move too soon. Dave would still be longing for me. Mm-hmm. I think too many phone calls. I mean, we've seen 2, right? And I think maybe you're right. That is the problem. Step back and let him miss you. I agree with you. And that's the first piece of that conversation I think I picked up on. He needs to be longing you at this point, not telling you, I'm comfortable with it. You don't ever want him to become just comfortable with it. Even though what she's doing is fine. Was it dismissive? It wasn't in sound, nor was it in song, but emotionally, I thought it was lacking. Good morning, One Journey. How are you? Ooh, I was just letting everybody know I apologize because I was asleep. I overslept. Let's talk about it. Good to see you, One Journey. I went on your page on, I think, Sunday, yesterday, sometime. I was just there for a few minutes and I was looking around. Okay, Sabrina says Angelina uses Kai to get in any kind of way she wants and can. Angelina will use anybody, her daughters, except Zachary. If they don't want to lose Zachary, they better leave Zachary alone. Okay, Angelina says, Trapstar, I love what you say, and I think he remembers what his friend said, maybe with a married woman, because some men don't play about their wives. Excellent point, Trapstar and Angela. Okay, I'll take that to heart, because that's exactly what his friend said. Some men don't play about their wives. And if he, maybe were to be a little more, well, I do want to see you, Amber. Amber would have jumped in the car and left. So yes, score 1 for the team. Mm-hmm. She doesn't want him after she's had Dave. Well, I think it's more the treatment that she's received with Dave and been with someone who treated her so well. I won't say if we say after she's had Dave, it means she had a big bar of chocolate. She had a big bar of chocolate. So I think the time he's treated her like a queen. But I did feel like, I guess I wanted him to show more emotion as far as like missing her. Even though they're supposed to be going down to Charlotte, in a road trip. I guess that's what I missed, just a little bit of that. But then maybe he was perfectly fine, saying what he said. Me, I'm going to be like nitpicky, you know. So it may have been just me. Did we notice Anthony looked after he got off the phone with Shayla this morning? It was like he was telling. It was like he was telling her to stick to the plan, don't fold in. I did rewatch it, but maybe I missed that piece because, when it comes to Anthony and Shayla, I mean, and the sickening part is that Shayla is all in again. What kind of magic does Anthony have? She was all in again. She bought hook, line, and sinker that he wanted to marry her. Because I guess he wanted to marry her. The next day was Saturday, and Anthony's still married. Right? Anthony's still married. So, was it what Angelina did to her noggin, or was it Anthony and what he said to her a couple of days ago? Good morning. Let's see. I'm sorry, not good morning. One Journey is... Sabrina, is that what you felt inside? I think Dave has somebody else. Maybe they wanted us to think that because he was extremely polite, said all the right things, but for me, a little too polite. And I thought maybe someone else is there, but I'm not letting my mind go there because I don't have any evidence. I actually thought Melissa, but we shall see. Amber has to set boundaries with Anthony. Trapstar, she does. These are the boundaryless having people ever. And Trapstar said she needs to be transparent and let him know she is there for him, but they are still getting the divorce. I agree with that, Trapstar, 100%. But she doesn't want to let him know because he's liable to have another panic attack. If Amber says, I want my 50%, he'll be grabbing his chest again. And we know Amber, if something happens to Anthony, she's going to feel guilt no matter what she does. Amber will beat herself up forever. Okay, they're still getting divorced. It only makes things worse letting him think otherwise. But I really do think that it's Trapstar, that I don't think Amber wants to upset him. And see, Anthony knows that. He wants her to cater to him because he feels a hand up. And he actually does, because he can make her almost turn a flip because she'll think, oh my gosh, he's going to get sick again. And she doesn't want that. So that's the problem I have with the storyline today. The Anthony's got me, I don't know, sitting in the hostage chair again today. Okay, let's see. So she can set boundaries, but she's not going to do it while he's sick, because if we think about after the last episode when he had on that purple and white, she was kind of similar to this, but they weren't feuding at the time. Nature, I don't think they were feuding, but so Nature says, I hope Melissa didn't get to Dave because she may have spoke to him after ripping up that vision board. He was being selfless. He was. And doing what he should. He was. For me, Nature, something was missing in that conversation. Was it emotion? Like, how long maybe do you think it'll be before I see you? But then Amber had said he did ask Amber to text him later. So I guess they covered that part. But I was looking, I was like, what's missing here? Okay, Nature says, then again, I have always felt Dave is testing Amber, and he might be. Now she is also being tested by Anthony. You know, Anthony wouldn't have any more tests for me. Okay, One Journey, he wouldn't have any more tests for me. I'm tested out with Anthony, if I'm being honest. Does he get to have more tests? You know, does Anthony get to have more tests? And let me see what One Journey sent me. Oh, and my phone is dying. Oh, the sample kit? I have it. Thank you, One Journey. Is that the one you mean? Okay, thank you. I've been asleep all afternoon, One Journey. Magnolia, hi. Dave offers Amber autonomy. He doesn't press Amber and goes at her speed. I like that. Keep me grounded, please. Because here I am looking for somewhere to poke a hole in Dave because the delivery, as usual, and his wording, his speech was perfect. It was on a perfect 10. Thank you, Magnolia. And that is what he did. There was nothing wrong in anything he said. You know, maybe I'm just like used to, you know, guys like, well, no, not in the beginning because I don't have that many exes. So, but yeah, that might be it, Magnolia. Dave offers Amber autonomy. He doesn't press Amber. He goes at her speed. I like that. I like that. Sabrina says, I think Dave likes Amber because she is unavailable. I think that too. And that could be why. Maybe Dave's been hurt. And Dave, it feels, for lack of a better word, safer if he's divorcing someone who's unavailable, as in going through a divorce. So yeah, I'm going to keep an eye out on that. Because there are people that way. They'll date you, and then when you're available, then it's like they're like hands off. But that might be part of why, because of what his friend said as well. But do I think Dave is into Amber? I absolutely do. I absolutely think so. And Sabrina says Dave is fake. And fake in what way, Sabrina? Just go ahead and type it in the comments for me. Fake in what way? I mean, because a lot of people question. I had one person that commented in the regular comment section that she didn't like Dave because Black men don't act that way. That was the lady's comment. So how are Black men supposed to act? There was a comment made just like that. Black men don't act that way. Yeah. And then Nature's, I don't know, I didn't know the person, but I'm sorry, pardon me. And then Nature says it takes a big person to not be selfish. And Amber, I'm sorry, with Amber especially, in their desire to see her, to tell her to be there for him. He'll be there for her. Perhaps it is his empathy, being a man, and showing how he would feel in that case. I took that into consideration totally. I did. I took all of these things, except Dave being fake. I don't see fake. But Sabrina, if you could share your thoughts, I'd be more than willing to listen to them, because I'm curious why people think Dave is fake. Other than the one lady that was in the comment section that said, Black men don't act like that. In other words, Black men don't act that way. How do they act? And it wasn't a Sabrina. It wasn't anybody in here. Somebody I don't know. And she wasn't being a smarty pants. It was almost as though she had never seen a really groomed, educated black man with great delivery, everything about Dave that's banging on 100. It sounded as though she had never seen that before. And I thought, she never did follow up. I did ask her, what did she mean by that? But she never responded. Dave, stay away from married people. I hope Dave does not like wounded women and he is a comforter or has a God complex. But I don't think so, because he would have showed it today, I think. But again, we're going to keep looking to see. And that is a great response. I think someone did mention that. An unavailable women. Oh, did he have a God complex? Someone mentioned that to rebuild, help women rebuild when they had a broken heart. That's what the comment was. I think Friday. I believe it was Friday. And then Angela Atkinson says, I believe Amber just wants the comfort of Dave, just her peace, and wanted to get away from Anthony. I agree with that. And maybe he knew that. I'm sorry, guys, I'm still waking up. Maybe Dave knew Amber wouldn't be comfortable leaving, and that's why he was that way. He wasn't dismissive. I mean, his delivery was pitch perfect. I don't know what it was I thought I was feeling or what I wanted to see. And maybe I'm overthinking, but I am watching all of these points that you all put out. I'm watching. And I know you are too, especially Magnolia. I know she's watching. Magnolia in love. Go ahead, Magnolia. But I am watching too. But I don't think Dave is fake. I don't get fake vibes from him. Like I got fake vibes from Anthony Dalton when he came to town. I did not like him. I knew he was trouble. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. One of my TS songs. Yes, Anthony. Magnolia, I think so too. Magnolia, what did you say? Oh, I remember your comment. Okay, and then One Journey is still welcoming everybody in. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Hi, Juanita Crenshaw. She's laughing. And thank you, One Journey. Nature says Shayla has always been in love with him. She has from the day she saw him. It won't take much to make her run back to him. Plus, there is no Aman around her. She has no guard keeper anymore. She hasn't seen him. So she's got the clouds, the gas, the mother, and her unfulfilled wishes of having let herself become Mrs. Anthony Dalton. So we're back to the wedding dress days. Except we have Angelina now. That lady acts like she wants to marry him. I mean, but she's always been that way. Even when Shayla told her, Mom, stop. Mom, don't do that. She's full speed ahead. Anthony and Angelina deserve each other, if you ask me. And then Angela Atkinson says, I don't think Amber all in today, but he is her comfort person to go to. That I agree with. I think she's a lot more smitten. But when they're together, and I'm watching both Dave and Amber, they seem to be on the same level of smitten and mutual respect. But listening to the phone call, maybe I was missing warmth in the call, because he's very cool, he's very collected. Maybe that was it. Maybe I didn't hear any giddy, but it wasn't a giddy time, And Shayla's high, maybe. Janet, she could be. Good afternoon. Trapstar says Anthony is Shayla's only option. She knows no rich man is going to marry her. Trapstar, that is absolutely true. Because I always wondered, is she going to take Anthony as a rebound? And is that really, karma or just desserts if she takes Anthony as a rebound? Because she's still getting the man she wanted. the man whose marriage she destroyed. She's still getting him back. So, what kind of punishment is that, right? And I have had these same exact thoughts, Trap Star. Anthony is not the only idiot that would marry her and tolerate Angelina. Juanita says, hi, One Journey. I think this was right before I fell asleep. I was thinking about Shayla, and Arby popped into my mind. And now we know he's not Mr. Fancy Pants. I think Arby has more money, and if he didn't, why would TT still be around Arby? Right? We know she's a straight up gold digger. So I don't know why Arby crossed my mind. Arby has nothing to do with any of this. Nothing. Whew, I need to woosah. I can think. Okay, Magnolia, where'd you go? There you are. I want to know about Dave. Hey, Dave. Shayla is lonely because where's Amon? I agree, Sabrina. Has he been over? Nope. She hasn't seen him since that game. Well, no, she hasn't seen him because supposedly Amber didn't see him at the game with Delicia. But there's no way. I mean, even King addressed it with Delicia today about he was talking about Lauren, but we already know he saw her on the vlogs. He saw her on TV. So King saw it. Shayla's always online, so I think Shayla saw it and Shayla's blocking it out. And then, yeah, she's lonely, Sabrina. Nature says, I and Magnolia are waiting for Dave to obtain his queen. Ant needs to sign the papers. No, I agree with you. Right now, I'm the guard. I'm Amber's bodyguard. I'm her bodyguard. Dave, what gifts do you come with? Dave, do you have something for Amber? I'm the bodyguard because I actually love Dave with Amber. I'm just so wanting Amber not to trip again. I'm tired of Amber getting just the low end, and I mean, we can't help the writing, but I'm Amber's bodyguard. Can I be that? Can I have that job, Magnolia? Because I'll be Amber's boundary, her bodyguard. Okay. Because I do like Dave for Amber. Don't hurt my girl. Magnolia says Dave always makes sure she knows he's got her. I love that he calls her baby girl, because baby girl is one of my favorite terms from my man. So I love baby girl. It's very intimate. It's very sexual. It's very sweet. It's very protective. It's a great word for me as somebody's woman, So baby girl has a special place, I don't know, in my heart. Let's see. Angela Atkins says, I don't think anyone was there. Oh, because he said baby girl. Okay. I will be right here waiting for you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bring me back into reality. Don't forget, I just woke up and I'm already thinking, Dave, did you do something wrong? Dave, what's going on? Dave, we love you, Uh-huh. So Magnolia, Trap Star, I'm not far from you. I really do like Dave for Amber. Of course, I don't like the affair, but I really do like Dave for Amber. I think Dave had company. Plus, he also knows his position, unlike Shayla. Fair point, Simply. Fair point. And I'm sure, I think that if Amber called him over, do you guys think he would go? Simply, do you think he would go? Magnolia, Trap Star, Angela, if she needed him to come over, would he go there? And One Journey says that is this point, she should move on or hire a caregiver, maid, cook. But she can't move out One Journey. She can't move out of the house. she's supposed to, according to Wayne's new rule for being legally separated, she has to come home at night. But what she could do, she has to come home at night. So she can't like move out. She can't move her things out. She would have to put things into, say, a new apartment or something. And I wouldn't want to see her like necessarily living with Dave, but living in her own apartment to get her own space. But now I wouldn't let Dave out of my sight. I would not let Dave out of my sight. Dave would be definitely falling in love if he hasn't already. But I like this simply. I think Dave, well, I don't think he had company though, because like Angela said, he did call her baby girl. Let me know. He'll be there for her. So that part right there kind of, for me, negates the first part, but he does know his position. And that, yes, yeah. We can't say the man is not spitting with Amber. We can't say that because he is. And Amber cannot move out. I mean, she has to still remain, but she can have her own place, but she has to come home at night, one journey, right? So, and then Angela Atkinson says, Angelina might tell Shayla to go seduce Anthony and get pregnant again. She's going to tell her to, but is Anthony going to go for it? And then Carla says, oh, Trapstar, there's someone in her building, in her condo. Unless she puts her tenant out. Wayne has written it to where she can't move out. Yes. He's creating a prison for the character. And that's why she looked the way she looked today, Trapstar. Like she was being held hostage. Or like the dutiful wife sitting there serving her no good, cheating, blah, blah, blah husband. That's exactly why we got that scene today. That like Amber was a hostage or a prisoner in her own marriage. That's exactly what I took away from it. Carla says, I believe Dave will show up at the Daltons' house to get Amber. Because if Amber goes missing too long, I do think he would come over there. Disrespectful or not, or he would keep calling her to make sure she's okay. I think she does. He is into her. But today was just, did he do enough? Did he let her know enough? Well, whenever you're ready, I'm here. But he did say that. So I want to stop beating a dead horse, you know? Oops, an unalived horse. Okay. And Magnolia says, Angela A., I might have felt tingly. That's funny. Okay, and then Dave said it again. He does not play about her. So I think we're maybe 98% that, yeah, Dave's the guy. Excuse me. The problem is that the fans don't want to see this sickening direction. People are tuning out. I saw a lot of anti-Anthony and anti-Shayla today. Not Shayla, Angelina. When I went over to Facebook and on YouTube, I went in the Kountry Wayne video, comments, which I hardly do because there's a lot of nonsense in there. But most of it was anti-Anthony and anti-Angelina. Even the Dave part, sorry. Even the Dave part wasn't bashing. It was like Dave is strategic in his moves. He doesn't want to blow the opportunity to get Amber. I mean, there were a lot of different reasons that they were watching Dave, but they were all positive. And I guess, I don't know how many, I mean, I read a lot of comments before I fell asleep. So there's not anti-Dave. There's, of course, anti-Angelina and rah Kai. But not a lot on Shayla. And just that Amber looked like a hostage. There was a lot of that. She looked like she was a hostage. And then Trapstar says the fans, yeah. But I did notice that I went out there to just kind of check the temperature on different skits. that related to the AAS line. Nature says, I think Dave knows Amber will come find him. She would. She was working it out with him in the mornings and at the hospital, which she probably hasn't since Aunt took her keys. She was working out. She worked out this morning? Okay. Maybe I didn't pick up on that. But I mean, the storyline won't work for a third year. We're tired. Trapstar, we are. And I have a sneaking suspicion that Wayne is about to redirect the storyline. I think Wayne is doing something behind the scenes for this storyline. I truly do. We don't know what it is yet. But he's up to something, Trapstar. He is, I think, definitely up to something. He knows we don't want to see this for a third year. And then Angela Atkinson says, Wayne wants us to turn on Dave. No, I'm not turning on Dave. They can keep Anthony. I said what I said about Anthony. Anthony is a problem. Anthony is a menace to society. Anthony can go over there and count his money, leave Amber alone, and heck, leave Shayla alone. You know, just go, because Anthony's the problem. I don't feel sorry for him, and I will not, because he caused it. Well, no, the other person's responsibility stopped at a certain point, and right now the ball is in Anthony's court. He's playing it like a chess master, and he's got Amber over here, Shayla over there. Dave, come get Amber, and even if they're not together, pick her up out of this. But what was all of the God sent me an angel about today? Because here they go with my God send. So what was that about? Did that mean anything to anybody between Amber and Dave today in that conversation? Anybody take anything from that? I'm sorry, but that was just clogged up. Okay. No, Angela. I think the Dave fans are in there. I think he has cemented quite a few fans. They're calling him strategic, brave, cool, calm as a cucumber, likes Amber, will come get her. So we've got all of this Dave stuff brewing. And on Facebook, I looked also. And then Carla says, if you watch the skits at the Dalton's house, look at Amber's face. She has checked all the way out. She doesn't want to be there. She knows what it feels like to feel good and wanted. And she's not getting that. Anthony can preach, just like we know the devil knows the Bible. All of a sudden, Anthony is Reverend, what's his name? Angela Atkinson, Reverend Dalton. Is that his name? Yeah, he was Reverend Dalton today. Trapstar says, right, Angela, we're not leaving our hotel chocolate. I love that. And I do like Dave. So, okay. And let's see. Magnolia says, Dave will have skeletons just like everybody else. Yeah, at the core. But he is pretty straightforward. And that's how I roll, Magnolia. I've got my skeletons. They're mine. They're in the closet. No, we're not perfect, and we do tend to present, for the most part, we all do, the best of ourselves. But as long as you're not hiding behind that persona like Anthony was until he couldn't because he didn't have enough money. And so the breakthrough came that he was actually broker than he said, or less monetized than he said. So, but again, I've never liked the Anthony character. I thought he was fake. Just straight up across the board. I thought he was fake. Who drives up in a Bentley? Nobody. Unless you own it. And then let's see. Yeah, he's got skeletons just like anybody else. And Magnolia, that's how I think. That's what I say when I say nobody's perfect. We all have skeletons somewhere, right? We do. We just do. That's life. You don't get to be a grown person, a grown up, unless you have something going on. If you haven't had a life, there's something wrong there. And we don't always share our skeletons at the same time. There's no need to. Remember the conversation that was floating about, well, when's Amber going to tell him about Wayne? Really? She only known the man 2 minutes and they're screaming about Wayne already. No, that's not life. You don't run around telling all your dirty little secrets as soon as you meet somebody and you realize they like you too. And then again, part of this might be just age of the audience, that could be. They just don't know. And no, this is not fan bashing or anything like that, okay? But some of the comments make you think, how old are they? Have they ever lived anything? That's all. Let's see. Angela Atkinson said, Amber looks so sad in the house. The only time she smiles is when Kai is at the house. And that's really bad. And then Anthony snatches his child. So let's see what happens tomorrow when Kai comes over. Right? Let's see what happens. And then Magnolia. What did you say, Magnolia? Angelina hate warm. Angelina's hate warms your heart. That lady hates Amber to her core. But then she sees herself when she looks at Amber, like the opposite of black is white. And Angelina is dark. She's got the darkest spirit. Kai, Amber looks very sad. So now that he's taken Kai away from Amber, what's going to happen tomorrow when Kai comes over? Are they going to not let Kai go to Amber? If they do that, Kai's going to cut up, right? Kai's going to cut up because Nana's been over there bad-mouthing Amber. And that baby is, if he wants to see Amber, is going to let them know. You get this off the stage. Okay. Yeah, Amber's so sad. Absolutely not. Wayne keeps switching direction. Magnolia, is that what it is? Is Wayne trying to find his way back? Did you get my Jaheim reference there? Is he trying to find his way back? Did he outsmart himself in the storyline? And where's Tamara? Over there, about to turn into a beast. She's past Phoenix Rising. She's ready to go there. Let's see. Yeah, Wayne keeps switching direction. I agree. And Nature said it gets hard to watch because we haven't seen significant growth in the characters together as a couple. None of them, especially Anthony and Amber. So, I mean, if it were a real thing, in a year and a half, there's been no growth, wouldn't most people say that marriage is like over? We have the people who want them to stay together because they got no. You got one life, and the Lord didn't tell you to sit there and be no fool. He tells you don't be a fool. The Lord doesn't want you to be unhappy and miserable. That's not why the Bible is written the way that it is and has the inclusions in it that it does. It's all about peace, love. And I'm not going to say harmony, but that's what the Bible is. What we see are people's mistakes being played out in the Bible, the storylines that led them to whatever that led to, the good things, beautiful things. That's what's in the Bible. Not just you cannot do this. That's not what's in the story of the Bible. And it's Nature says it's hard to watch because we haven't seen significant growth. Yeah, we haven't. And Amber has grown individually, although she is still tied to pain. And she will be as long as she's there with the situation that Shayla and Amber are, Anthony. Because Shayla was number one. Anthony joined number two. Now Anthony's number one. Now Anthony's number one driver. No, I don't think he'll go there while she's married. Only if, oh, I think, he'll probably tell her to call the police or something, but there are people who will come to make sure you're okay. I mean, and what if he went there and I'm just talking here. What if he went there to check on his client because she's not answering the phone? She's not been at the restaurant. They have a meeting. I mean, we never know when somebody's spidey senses, not spidey things, spidey senses will kick in. So simply, I do understand your comment. He doesn't want any drama. Maybe Dave felt Amber has saved him from something which we may learn later. Nature, yeah, I think you may very well have a point. Because his wording and use of, his angel and, oh yeah, I picked it up. I definitely picked it up. The God sent response today from Amber, the whole angel, God sent me an angel. Nature, I think there's something there for us, and that is a bar. Hi, Michelle Thompson. Good evening. Good night, Nonya and chat. I'm sorry it took me a long time to get to your comment on, chatting. He has a fan base. Is it Dave? It's Devites. Is it Devites? Because he does have a fan base already. Trapstar says, I think you're right, Nonya, because the views for their storyline have dropped big time. Even DC skits are now past the AAS storyline. Yeah, because I know that, like, my shorts used to be on point constantly, bam, bam, bam. And I noticed that the Anthony, Shayla, and Amber, they're lower. I mean, I get more on Bethany and whatever, but that's my own little internal measurement to see who I want to make my shorts on, because I make shorts before I make a video. And I like making videos, but I have to see what's going on and get the temperature. Yes, Mr. Reverend Dalton. Thank you, Angela. Magnolia says Amber said she feels caged, bound, and miserable. Exactly. And remember, we used to talk about Anthony being locked in Shayla's apartment. And last year, Magnolia, on YouTube, we came up with the movie, of course, Misery, because it looked like Shayla was going to handcuff Anthony to the chair, like Kathy Bates did James Caan, right? So it's interesting turn to have Amber looking like she's the hostage. Yeah, she says she feels miserable. And we love Mr. Young. Yes, we do. So, correct. No one has clean hands or is without sin. Repent, self-correct, no repeat, build again, live. Thank you, One Journey. And that's actually a simple recipe for life. Sometimes we have to repent more than once, because life does happen. But I think as long as we're not deliberately being an Angelina or a homewrecker or a thief, all these terrible things, the Lord does give us grace, and we have to learn to give ourselves grace. If we mess up big time and we're mad at ourselves, like, why did you do that? What were you thinking, Nanya? That kind of thing, where it feels like the world is going to fall because of what I just did, my little error. I have to really step back and say, what's going to happen because of what you did? If it happens to me, okay, but is it going to affect, millions of people? Is it that bad what I did in the whole grand scheme of things? And then Nature says, Magnolia, yes, spot on. He may have prayed to find someone like Amber. A man knows when he has found his one. And I think maybe that's why Dave was so comfortable, because he knows, maybe Dave knows Amber's the one. And I'm willing to wait. So, and I'm not trying to glorify this, put on my rose-colored glasses, but I agree. Dave has prayed for his woman, his wife. Oh, and the other thing I noticed, remember when they were in Charlotte. And Dave was telling what's the one I put the song on for? He was listing the things that he saw in Amber, and we heard him say partner, right? What was it? The last time she saw Dave, they were talking, and the reference was the wife as the partner. It was him and Amber talking, and partner meant wife. Did you guys pick that up? I don't remember which skit it was, but one of them said wife and partner, and Dave and Amber equated the two. Their conversation equated that it meant the same thing. And I meant to share that with you when I caught it, but that's exactly what partner means to Dave. They were talking, forget what they were talking about. I think him working or something, but the two met. It met. The partner means the wife. They said it. I stand on it. If I have to go find it, I will. But yeah, it did come out. So everybody said, well, he didn't say wife. Well, he said it a couple of days ago. He definitely, him and Amber, put it together. And I think it was Dave, the one that said wife about whatever they were talking about. And I believe it was Amber that said partner. And Dave course corrected. So I did see that, just so you guys know. Because I was like, why didn't he say wife? He just said partner. But that is what he ended up saying. And I think it was for clarification for nosy people like us. For nosy people like us, it was clarified. And it was smooth transaction. Conversation was smooth. He just equated the two as, partner is his wife. So that was good. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And then, yeah, spot on. I thought it was funny, Amber rubbing hands when Anthony was rubbing her hands. It's that cringy feeling. I thought it was funny, Amber rubbing hands from where Anthony was touching them and praying. When you get that cringy feeling with a person, that's what you got. The cringe. And then Trapstar says, Dave believes Amber was sent to him. He said so. Yes, Trapstar. He said that was she's his angel. And when she told him she was divorcing, that confirmed it for him. Mm-hmm. And that's why when his friend said what he said, Dave he was so giddy when he was talking to his friend and he was on the phone looking at something Amber sent. And he was just as happy as a kid in the candy store. And he's laughing, and then the friend comes. So Dave believes Amber was sent to him. And when she told him she was divorcing, that confirmed it for him. That's why he took his chance. And he knows she wasn't being supported. That's right, Trapstar. And that's partly why he dropped it to the $10,000 per quarter and not per month, because I'm sure per month is his fee, not per quarter. And he did it for Amber. And that's why Melissa said, we wanted to surprise you. Melissa didn't know. She probably had that contract the way it was supposed to be all along. Angela says, Reverend Dalton. You guys are hilarious. This is nature telling Angela Atkinson, Reverend Dalton versus Bishop Dave. I love that. I know I'm slow in getting to it, but I love that. Nature, let me give amen, amen, amen. I agree. Magnolia says, Nature, that scene at dinner is one of my favorites. Oh my God, that was funny. Reverend Dalton versus Bishop Dave. And then Gwen says she was trying to get his spirits off. Oh my goodness, she was. She's like, ew, ew. Put some hand sanitizer in your pocket, Amber. Oh my gosh. Amber's husband never appeared when she hired Dave. Amber's husband never appeared when she hired. Oh no, he didn't. He didn't care. He never came. He didn't come to see what has grown. He did not come. That man doesn't care. That spoke volumes, especially because the business managed to both of them. And he knows her husband was a businessman. Yeah, he knew that. And he knew there was a problem. Because where's your husband? Dave knows there was a problem. When he met Amber, this beautiful woman needing help from outside sources, no marketing strategist, and her husband is a businessman. What's wrong with this picture? And Michelle Thompson says they're trying to redeem Anthony and they're whitewashing them. Michelle Thompson, yeah, that's what they're doing. I'm not buying it. And I can't buy it. I mean, I know that they're really trying with Shayla. So we know that. Shayla's going to always be Shayla to me. Not to be trusted, blah, blah, blah. But Anthony, trying to whitewash him from all of this, that infuriates me more. It's like, if you're impressionable, as I think it was Trapstar and Magnolia and me having a conversation, and Nature might have been in there as well. It's like any impressionable people, Wayne is getting into their brains because he's a very good Pied Piper. And this is no shade to Wayne. It's just his writing. It's the way he's writing the storylines, and there's nothing wrong with that. But these people, a lot of them are very impressionable. Now that there is something wrong with it. I wish he would have better endings, better outcomes for the troubled lines. They're trying to redeem Anthony and Shayla characters. They were trying with Angelina and Diesel, but people weren't having it. Yeah, they're trying with Anthony. And that's why I jumped on the phone and did that video about Anthony on Saturday, because that's exactly what they are doing. I saw so many comments talking about, why Anthony, no, 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 oh, poor Anthony. Poor Anthony? Really? There's nothing poor about Anthony, except spiritually. He doesn't have a heart. Like whoever commented, he doesn't. How can he have a heart attack when he doesn't have a heart? You know, that kind of thing, metaphorically. But that's what made me make my little video. It's not my perfect video or anything like that. I wasn't going to make it again because it was like a lot I was trying to put out there. And it was like, I'm following a mental map, you know. And so that's why I put it out the way I did. Then I made an apology at the end for, you know, because it wasn't a perfect video, but it wasn't a bad video. It was my true statement as far as what I see going on with the AAS line. Let's see. Amber says, yeah, never appeared. And then Michelle says they're trying to whitewash Anthony. Never get whitewashed from me. He gets nothing from me except what 3 shorts that I said I wouldn't do again. But I did them. And Carol called me on it. Of course she did. And I knew she was going to say something. I was like, there's no way I could have missed the powerful acting that he did when he had his panic attack. And then the follow-up with Amber, praying over him, asking for 911. And I put Whitney's song on that piece. So, but the acting is what got me. Not that Anthony was sick. It wasn't that. It was the power of the acting. So I did do it. And nobody said anything. So let's see. Gwen says simply, yes, she was. And he did. And he said, did you feel the spirit? What does that mean, Gwen? Oh, get the spirits off her hand. Yeah. Okay. Magnolia says Dave is smooth and he slipped right in gradually. He did. And with Amber to cement himself. Yeah, Magnolia, that's what I've been saying. Like he said, if you're a businessman, you don't let a good thing get away. And this is exactly what Dave did. He submitted himself as her man so she never hits the open market once she is divorced. And that's what he meant when he said what he said. And now that is his woman. And he wasn't playing about it. Hi, Layla. How are you? Ms. Grant is in the house. They're using God Almighty's name for pure foolery. Yes, they are, which they wrote into these skits. Ain't no Jesus popping either. Hi, George. Welcome in. When I have to use the word, if I use the word God, I try to put it in a lowercase g because it feels kind of yucky for me to be putting God's name on these skits. You know, where's Jesus popping? Are we going to see some changes in the storylines? George, what's happening? Trapstar says Anthony needs to go to Shayla's house if she wants to visit him. She should not be coming to the marital home like they are running things. Welcome in, George. Hi, everyone. George is saying hello. George Sims is, there's Goddess. Good evening, Goddess. And Goddess says, good night, George. Simply says, as far as Angelina, I think the writers are trying to show us Rooster Nation is definitely back. Someone told me that they called her Rooster today. I was waiting. It's only going to take a second for her to come back and reignite Rooster Nation. And there we have it today. Let's see. As far as Angelina, I think the writers are trying to show us Rooster is back on her nonsense. Shayla is getting grounded where her mother is concerned. Hi, Taran. Hi, all. Deborah Williams, welcome in. I'm sorry, I just woke up and I'm trying to get my bearings here. And then if I was Amber, I wouldn't be home when Shayla dropped off Kai. I probably wouldn't either. George says, and still the attention taken off of Shayla's karma. George, we were addressing that and how they're trying to whitewash Anthony too. They're trying to whitewash Anthony. They're going to continue to whitewash Shayla. I mean, look at me. I'm not like the dislike I used to have for Shayla, which I still do, but in a different category. I'm feeling a different kind of way. I didn't forget that she started this affair that they're trying. So now it's, well, Shayla's trying to get away from Anthony too. That's where they were going. When I did the tape on Saturday, Shayla's trying to pull away from this man. Amber's trying to pull away from this man. That leaves Anthony in the middle, and people are trying to whitewash Anthony. People are saying, Amber, get back in your Bible. Well, how come Shayla and Anthony don't have a Bible? But, I mean, it's not like you're required to have a Bible in Wayne's World, right? Except that we know a couple of them do have Bibles. But anyway, that's beside the point. So all of that, well, Amber needs to get back in her Bible. She does. But how about let's get Anthony and Shayla a Bible too? Let's do that. Okay. I don't want the bashing, but I will not. Anthony Dalton, I'm not whitewashing him. Trust and believe that ain't happening. Okay. And then Magnolia says Jay and Ernestine is the couple that Wayne tries to force us to believe Amber and Anthony are, and they're not. I didn't see any scenes of theirs today with Ava Magnolia. I'll look for some. Trapstar says Wayne is switching direction because the views have tanked. Yeah, I mean, we know what we like, and most of us do like Dave with Amber. We want Anthony gone out of that woman's house. And even if it wasn't Amber, if it was somebody that was a woman in a similar position who we happen to care about, then we probably feel the same way. Get her out of that hole. You know, it just happens to be Amber. And what if it were another woman in the same kind of drowning predicament as Amber, and it was somebody we happen to like? Of course, it would be different ratings, but wouldn't we still feel that way? We wouldn't want her, stuck with an Anthony who's doing this with the women back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So right now, again, he's the train driver of this wreck. Good night, George. And then, hi, George. Everybody saying hello to you, George. Hey, Keisha, Keisha. One Journey, Bad Behavior Skits. Jesus Poppin', 17 Works of the Flesh. Galatians 5:19 through 21. Yeah. Welcome in, Tehran. Magnolia says, hey, Keisha. One Journey, Behavior Skits. Jesus is popping. Yeah, he's got the hashtags out there on Facebook, but not the writer's name still. And he's not going to put them out there. Okay. Goddess says, good night, Keisha. Deborah Williams. Anthony is a mental manipulator for Amber. I don't think it's going to work because as long as Dave has I think as long as Dave has his finger on her pulse, he's going to feel her. If she starts to slip, I don't think he's going to be as cool, calm, and collected because I think he's going to want to know why. And he's very straightforward. He may tell her what he sees as a man. But George is in the house. George says Dave is a player. And George, what do you think? All these skits are mirroring Wayne's dysfunctional life. What was it? Nostalgia? Who mentioned that movie this morning? Was it Dolly? When was it Dolly that mentioned the movie Nostalgia is on Amazon Prime? And Keisha says, hi. Hi, Keisha. Keisha, how are you? Tehran says, hi, Gwen. Nature. Anthony has been suppressing his anger because I think he feels rejection now and abandonment. Feels kind of odd, doesn't it, Anthony Dalton? Or Reverend Dalton, as I will start calling him. Feels awful now, doesn't it? When the shoe is on the other foot. And you did this woman like this for a year and a half. And like, worse. Would Anthony be there taking care of Amber? No. And let's see. So Anthony has been suppressing his anger because I think he feels rejection and now abandonment. In Ant's mind, he may feel perfection for a woman, but to choose her with her being with another. Good point, Nature. That's a good thought. And then Keisha saying hi to Gwen and Goddess. Deborah Williams tomorrow when Shayla drops the car off. Let me read this. Oh, Deborah says she believes tomorrow when Shayla drops off Kai, Shayla may tell Amber something about Anthony. She could, Deborah. I don't know because I think Shayla is still, she's angry right now, but she is contemplating whether, it looks like she's contemplating whether she wants to get back with Anthony or not. So I guess that would be what her decision to tell Amber would be based upon. You know what I mean? Like overnight, is she going to be like, nope, I don't want to be back with him? And she'll tell Amber. I think that is a decision she will make based on what Shayla wants. Not on what Angelina wants, but what Shayla wants. Let's see, Goddess. Oh, yes, please join me. Gwen's post is out there. Please join me at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And it's 12 o'clock for Tea with Me, NONYASISCHAT. And Gwen puts it eloquently in her comment post. And then I have changed the wind down to 7 p.m. Eastern time, which is 10 p.m. East Coast, and then 9 p.m. Central. Angelina, One Journey says, Angelina is old. She has not grown up. Does Anthony want to be an Angelina old and still deceptive? Yeah. I mean, Angelina hates Amber to the core because she can't take the woman's husband away. Or is it because Amber reminds her of the wife who wouldn't let Angelina's father go? Why does she hate Amber so much? One of the two, I do believe. And then Deborah says, could you imagine when Anthony finds out he's going to call her every name in the book? Of course he will. Anthony will be singing, Dave, Dave, hey, Dave. Right now, I do like Dave. I'm going to continue to like Dave because maybe they need to rescue each other. And we know it's the cheating story. We know all that. But maybe they were sent for each other. You know, my word, God sent, and I'm holding on to it. That's why you have to be careful bringing people back into your life. Anthony brought back a lot of bad behavior, bad habits that Shayla did to him. Like all the grabbing on Amber, you know. I was like, what is he doing? And Dave says, no, we're not going to have him hitting you. And then he said that's when he first introduced the baby girl word. So, and I think he would beat Anthony to a pulp, if I'm being perfectly honest. Can you see little Anthony doing this? Looking up at Dave. Okay. Team Dave in the house right here. So I just called it. Team Dave. So I guess I have to get in line behind Magnolia and Trapstar though. And Dolly. But I do like Dave. Right. For now, yes. And yes, Dave calls Magnolia, right. Yes. Dave calls Amber his partner because the title of wife scares him. And he did put those two together. I've never heard him say it together, but he did. And now what you just typed, yeah, the title of wife scares him. I wonder if he's been divorced because he did use my reference, a divorce is like a funeral, because it is. So I wonder if he was divorced years ago. Betty Bush, hi, Betty. How are you, doll? I saw your comment earlier. If I were Amber and Shayla and Kai came over, I would leave. Tell Shayla to babysit until I make a run. I mean, at this point, do we really care what Shayla and Anthony do? She's already told them, go be together. Let them go be together. Just go. Just go. You're messing up other people's lives for your own individual needs. And that is a sick way to live. When you're hurting people, whether you know it or not. You've already broken the woman. And here Anthony is back with his nonsense again. And people steadily trying to whitewash Anthony. You don't get a whitewash from me. Because you are driving this train wreck. Shayla's tour duty is over. She's still involved, but Amber's over here. We're not talking about Wayne. We're talking about Anthony and how he's trying to play these two women. Was he think this was like, he was so shocked when he got the paper served on him at Shayla's house? Did he just think time was just going to be on his side and just keep on doing what he was doing with no anything to stop him? He just thought, oh, I'm just going to keep doing this till I feel like going home, until he got the divorce papers. No repercussions, no nothing. If we remember the storyline, Anthony had no intention of running back home until he got the divorce papers. And now she mentions taking his money again, and you know she's serious. Then he has a panic attack. Yeah. And I don't think he faked the panic attack, as a character. I think he had a panic attack. But I do know that in panic attacks, you might hear something and you might not, because things go haywire. It's like your spidey senses are off. There's like gray around you. I mean, when I talk about real panic attacks, so because it was mentioned this morning about the panic attacks, and he could have heard her footsteps, but if he really was knocked out when Amber found him and he didn't have a heart attack, it was a panic attack. And Magnolia, Carla says Dave was walking Amber to the door when Amber had on that trench coat and walked her to walked to the door, but Dave wouldn't let Amber leave. Yeah, he liked Amber. And when a woman does something like wearing a trench coat with lingerie underneath, typically there's something wrong with them. Because, I was surprised, but I wasn't shocked because they're they're trying to show she's broken. And I don't think people picked up on that. The lady people get lost. When they get broken, they get lost, they don't know where to turn. And the only thing and place she could go was to Dave. And it's basically like help me, or I'm going here because I know he likes me. And you just go into it. And this is not to make up for it. It just it is what it is. Let's see. Carla says, told Melissa God was God sent. Yeah, Carla, that's the day I said, oh, he used my word. Yay. Because that was my word. And I'm taking credit every time I hear my words because nobody's going to give me credit. So I'm going to take it. On Trapstar, that's terrifying that DC skits are doing better than AAS. On Nature says, amen. The spirit of narcissism was heavy in the air today. Yes, Magnolia. Facebook was not buying it. I did go on Facebook today, Magnolia, looking around, being nosy, and then expect Amber to be the villain, Magnolia. Well, they're going to call her a villain because she's in an affair. But I don't know. What did they call Anthony and Shayla? Right? But it's Amber, so of course she's going to be a villain. And that's why I'm going to stand up against Anthony and against Shayla. And I don't care. You dogged this woman for a year and a half through the mud, and now she's finally doing something after breaking, and now you want to talk about her some more. Go ahead and do yourself. She filed for her divorce. She's legally separated. She can go see Dave. It is what it is. And I'm still not convinced, George, that there is something wrong with Dave. I'm not convinced. If anything, might be getting closer to believing that he's got some skeletons, but I don't get player, I get ex-player. And when we say player, it doesn't mean all these women coming in and coming out. It means, I'm not calling him a player. I'm saying just because a single man dates a lot of women, depending on your lifestyle and what you're doing with it, it doesn't mean that you're a player. When you're a player, you're out there playing with all these women's hearts and all that. And that's not the impression I get from Dave. I think he's been in relationships. I think he feels safer. Like I think Magnolia or Trapstar said, maybe even Nature, that he feels safer with a married woman that's going through a divorce because he can anticipate that they may leave him. And so he's prepared. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on that one. That Wayne fails to realize he cannot whitewash Anthony. No. Anthony is driving this train right now. So keep on, I guess he's going to keep on passing the gear shifts and sticks or whatever until he finds a way to do it. He thinks that he's accomplished it with Shayla. No, you just gave Shayla's dirt and her nasty attitude a makeover. It's still there, and we still see it. Okay, what Wayne fails to realize, he can't whitewash Anthony, Angela, or Shayla. It makes the fans more upset, yes. You have to be careful misleading people. Painting wrong is right and right is wrong. Yes, and again, there are too many impressionable people or people who will change their mind just based on what they see one day and then confuse the next day and then find a way to be on some page on the third day. But that's what Wayne drives on. Yeah, he drives on impressionable people. And if you're not impressionable, well, we're going to stand up and we're going to shout it out in Wayne's world. Let's see. Anthony wanted the restaurant to fail. Yeah, he did, Deborah. I've been saying that for day one. A lot of us have. Because that's why he didn't want to put any effort into it. And when Amber did the bow out, yes, a master, I said, oh, Anthony, it's over. You a rap, dude. Magnolia, I know Dave is your man. You are going to have to get in line. Carla, I don't know. I don't think I'd box with Magnolia about this one. she'll have to be we're gonna have to let her have number one because Magnolia did not come to play when it comes to Dave. Deborah, you could be number two. Trap Star, you could be number three. I'm the bodyguard. I'm Amber's bodyguard. So I'll stand there and guard Dave and guard Amber. Okay, that's cute. You guys are darlings. Oh, thank you, One Journey. Good night, One Journey. Get some rest. And hopefully you can drop in tomorrow after O'Neill. That would be very nice. If that's who you are, I don't know. But good night, One Journey. One Journey saying good night, everyone. Trap Star, no shade, y'all, but some of those comments, especially on the blogs, look like paid people. You know, you guys know how to recognize bots in YouTube, right? There are bots in YouTube, yeah. There are bots that have names with 4 digits at the end. There are bots that say user dash such and such. Those are bots. No shade, y'all, but some of the comments on the blogs look like paid people for damage control or to take temperature. It's also for temperature taking is what I have found. And I actually learned this when I was on TikTok doing voting stuff. They taught us what to look for because it's the same narrative almost per beta. It is. It's like you'll get this random connect with someone. And if you pay attention, they're like asking questions or trying to figure out why you're talking that way. They have a whole agenda out there. So Trapstar, yes. I would have said, Lord, please don't strike Anthony down for using your name in vain. Yeah, because he is. And it's not like when Anthony was trying to tell the story of David and Goliath. I'm sorry. David and Bathsheba. And he couldn't get the words together for Diesel. Yet he can come up with all of this for Amber today. He parrots what Amber has told him in the past. He parrots it just like Kai parrots what he hears. And then George, hi George. The numbers for her today are low. Yeah, when I was doing my shorts, I noticed her numbers were dropping. And that'll affect me. So, hey George, Dan pops up on Lauren. Okay, you're right, George. They're avoiding Shayla's karma. We knew that was coming, though, didn't we? Once that announcement was made, we knew that wasn't going to happen. We knew. So, and he didn't. I think we would have figured it out even if he hadn't made that announcement that she's going to be a star. And I'll leave it at that. Magnolia says Wayne wouldn't write a man getting the best of his daughters. Nope. The viewers tired of Angelina Shayla versus Anthony and Amber skit is all played out. That's why I say I want to see a third storyline. I mean, because the Dalton marriage it's had a wrecking ball taken to it. And at first, I think he wanted to rebuild it, but then they doubled down on it, on destroying the marriage. So who's going to be popping? Hey, Alexis, welcome in. Yeah. So let me see what else we have. Wayne going backward instead of forward. I don't know why they repeating the Angelina hating Amber skit. I think Angelina might be in love with Anthony too, in addition to his money. I mean, whose mother just goes and calls their baby daddy, their daughter's baby daddy? And Shayla was like, you did what, Mom? She already knew her mom did something silly like that. She's disgusting. Trapstar said it won't work because the fans have checked out and a lot of people will stop watching if Amber stays with Anthony at this point. Yeah, There's no reason to try to salvage that marriage. They have successfully destroyed it. And I'm not talking from the biblical sense, God can come and fix it, which he could. And I don't like to use God in my terminology, but for us people, that marriage is. And then we're going to say, why is Amber staying with him after all he did? Is she ever going to trust him again? I'm not buying it. Give us a new storyline, a spinoff of some sort. Yes, Trap Star, because enough is enough. Trap Star, they have ruined that marriage. There's no way they can remain married. I agree, Donna. So too much has been said and done. Plus the affair with Dave. Too much for Anthony to handle. So what are they going to make Anthony have a heart attack when he finds out Amber's in an affair? Now, Anthony gets to have a heart attack and get all the sympathy of the fans. No. And let's keep in mind, these are skits, not real people. And am I going to have sympathy for him? I'm not going to have sympathy. I'm not going to have anything. If that's what they want to do with this character, then expect people to be themselves. Everybody's not impressionable. If he has a heart attack, I feel for the character, but don't do it to try to get me to whitewash or go along with a whitewash of a character in a skit, because I'm not doing it. Sorry. Okay, Dave is from the streets. Don't let him fool you. He said he came from humble beginnings. We know what that means, Magnolia. He's straight out the street, and he made it out. Team Dave. Hey, Mr. Young. That's Pie Guy. Hi, Pie Guy. Nature says, Magnolia, I think so too. He's seen and been through something. You don't get to be that way. New skit alert, and Amber skit. 8:35? Okay. I know I'm late, so let me go get the skit, okay? I'll be right back. Let me go find it. Amber and Shayla? Let's see. Hold on just a moment. Uh-oh. What happened? No. Save my channel. Okay. We need Wayne. Okay, who is it? It's Ant and Amber. Okay. I'm looking for it. I see the ones from today. Amber and Anthony. I'm sorry. Did we see all of these already? What's the name of the skit, Nature? Because I got the ones that were shown today. Anthony and Amber back on new skit. When Anthony tells Amber, oh, he can't wait to, oh gosh. Here we go. We called it, you guys. We called it. That's exactly what he's there for, to stop that divorce. This is nauseating. Come on, where is it? Come on, Kountry Wayne. Wait a minute. Let me see it again. New skit. Ant and Amber. When Anthony tells Amber he can't wait to get some loving. Okay. Is it on is it on Facebook or is it? I still don't see it. When Anthony tells Amber he can't wait to get some loving. That's the name of it. When Anthony tells Amber he can't wait to get some loving. That's what I typed in. Let me go refresh the screen. I still don't see it. I'm still looking. It's bizarre. And that's it, right? When Anthony tells Amber he can't wait to get some loving. That's what I typed in. Let me refresh this. When Anthony tells Amber he can't wait to get some loving. Take off loving and see what happens. I'm not getting it. Is it still there? They didn't pull it, did they? Wayne, come on. Where's the video? I'm still looking for it. I'm not finding it. Guys, it's not coming up. Let me see. Back on new skit. When Anthony tells Amber. So I tried searching it. Let me do a clean search. I was willing to bet there's an ex-wife or fiance. Let me try again with the wording that you gave me. Because I did try it. I did everything. Yeah, that's what I typed in. Let me type it again. What'd they do with the video? It's not here. Search. Come on, Wayne, don't play. I don't know what's going on here. Let me do unwatched videos. And recently uploaded Amber and Anthony. It's not pulling up. Okay, I'm coming back. So can we wait for a couple of minutes because it's not coming up on the laptop. And my phone, well, it's not dead yet. Let me see. See if I see it on the phone. You know, that turned my stomach like that because we knew that's what he was going to do. It's so predictable. Excuse me. Let me see. Is it even on my phone? I did unwatched. I did watched. What they do with the videos? When Anthony tells Amber he can. Just a minute, everybody. Thank you, Gwen. Lady, get off my screen. When Anthony tells Amber, oh, he can't wait. Maybe. Here, let me pause that. You know, this man makes me so ill. Like, he really, is that on purpose? Okay, so when, let me get this word for word. Thank you, Gwen. Now, where'd it go when Anthony tells he can't wait to get some loving? Well, wait a minute, that's what I put. Hold on. I want to see this so I can fuss. When Anthony tells Amber he can't wait to get some of that loving. Let's see if that makes a difference. To get some of that loving. Amber. It still didn't work. What on earth? Come on, Wayne, don't play. Recently uploaded. I don't know. It's not, it came up on my phone, but under videos, why is it giving me these old videos for no reason? Oh, come on. What's going on? It's not loading it. Recently watched just regular videos. Maybe I should refresh this altogether. They're not giving me the new ones on my laptop. Like, no matter what I put in the exact wording, and they're not coming up. I see it on my phone. Okay, I'm going to come back. Can you guys see it on your phone? Because it literally is not coming up on my laptop. And I brought it up instantly based on the criteria that Gwen sent me, and it did come up. I do have it, but it's not coming up on my laptop. And I tried like 20 times. And I also tried with this exact lingo. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit, but Betty, thank you. Well, I care about what you guys are thinking and saying. Just bear with me. And when the video doesn't come up, it's like, why? She's got her scarf on. Oh, Anthony, hush. Oh, no. Please be quiet. Make him stop. Make him stop. Kountry Wayne, when Anthony tells Amber he can't wait to get some of that loving. That is the most bizarre thing. It's not coming up on my laptop. I went into videos, unwatched videos, regular videos. It's coming up with 10 months of data and then backwards. Wayne, what's going on with your channel for laptops? That's bizarre. So, if you guys can pull it up on your phones, I can't get it to come up on the laptop. I've tried like literally 22 times with the correct criteria. She's got a scarf on and a white towel. Can you guys bring it up on your phone? I mean, I can show you on my phone, but you can't really see anything.
Quiet as kept. I mean, the doctor told me to take it easy.
Yes, he did. He told you to take it easy.
I can't stand this dude. This guy is just sickening. I'm sorry. Ugh.
I'm backed up.
Go use your hands. Can you guys look at it on your phone?
Look at you, even the way you pose right now.
No, I got it, but it won't come up on the laptop, guys. That's the problem. I have it on my phone. It's on my phone, but the laptop is not pulling it in. I've refreshed it and everything. Yeah, he makes me feel that way too, Nancy B. I'll try it again, but I put in the exact criteria. I did. When Anthony tells Amber he can't wait to get some loving.
I was just looking for my oil. Maybe I left it. I might have left it upstairs.
I don't know what it's doing on the laptop.
You feel better tomorrow. I'm gonna make sure I feel
Oh, Anthony, go to bed. Ugh. Okay. You know, I really apologize. It is not coming up on the laptop, no matter the search criteria. So if you have it on your phone, please pull it up on your phone, because I did put in the exact criteria you guys gave me, like literally. I even put the apostrophe in the word can't. And it came up on my phone, but I'm at 12%, but it still came up. So can you guys, can you watch it on your phone? When you got it on your phone, can you go ahead and, I mean, if you have it on your phone, please read it. Watch it on there, because I kid you not, it's not coming up. It's just not. No, he's he's disturbing. Let me put parentheses around the title, see if that helps, because it is a long title. No, it keeps giving me video from 10 months ago, even when I search it on video. It's like it's in a stuck. I do recently, same thing. Ah, finally it comes up. It says recently uploaded. Hold on, everybody. So do you guys want me to start in the middle or toward the end? Because it makes a difference, as you know. Okay, hold on. Okay, where should I start? Middle? Let me know, because you know we can't run tape, right? So, yeah, Amber's too nice. Where do you want me to start at? Towards the end? Okay, Donna. Let me go get the video. It just said it popped up. It just got uploaded, maybe for laptops and computers. I don't know. Wait a minute. Towards the end. Magnolia said, "Can I get to the part where we all throw up?" Oh my God, he's so gross. The man's disturbing my spirit himself. Oh God, Anthony, please, Dalton. Okay, I'm gonna move it. Ugh. Y'all want to see this much of it? Yeah, why is she in that room? Oh, did she stop and come out? Oh, she came to get her oil. She went in there to get her oil. Yeah, he keeps going in her room too. But she says she needs her oil out of that room. You hear that? She's looking for her oil. I can't with Anthony. Well, no, you not. Leave her alone. Ugh. What do I say? What can I say for that? Head to the household. I think that's a great idea, Magnolia. That oil is at Dave's. Let me go up and grab some comments. My stomach is literally like, how you get that yick feeling in your stomach? Like, not queasy, but kind of, disturbed. That's how my stomach feels. The way he does that cringe. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make so many faces either. Okay. Look, he thinks he's going to get some. Okay. It took a long time, I guess, for them to upload it to maybe the laptop system because the phone had it, but the laptop I kept on doing it, and then it kept giving me other videos, but finally it popped up and said when I clicked on the uploaded tab again, then it came up. Okay, Anthony, you need to put your fist to your work. That's disturbing me. That man is so disgusting. Amber stopped being nice, and I can imagine people saying she should do her wifely duties. Am I a rebel? Is that my problem? Am I a rebel? Not a rebel, am I? I just think it's nonsense. And he's forcing us to take this if we want to see the Daltons back at the 11:30 skit mark. Amber needs to say, listen, we are still getting a divorce. Yes, Angela Atkinson. Say something, Amber. I'm about to say a bad word on here, you guys. I'm about to curse. Wayne, please stop. Wayne, please cut it out, please. This is not what we want to see. Amber is not falling for it, though. She is not having it. They were, but Anthony keeps coming to the remodeled room. Wow, Nature. Nature said they were, but Anthony, yeah, he keeps coming into the room. But she did go to get her oil. That oil is at Dave's house. It might be. He's just gross. Hi, Danielle. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Head to the guest house. That's probably her best move at this point because she's not abandoning the marital home and she is in compliance with her order, her divorce court order. She says she needs to give that oil. That's what I said, Goddess. You know my mind. You know where I went. And that was earlier when I couldn't even find the video. Hey, Danielle. Hi, Danielle. Amber's signature body oil. I think she's going to be selling that at her boutique shop also. I think she said her body oils were going to be at the boutique shop. She's going to drop the name of it pretty soon. Maybe it'll be this week. And then Anthony, no, Duran, he hasn't taken NAP pill. He didn't take that pill today. Otherwise, it would have made him go to sleep. Jeez. Oh, so I guess they put him back in the 8:30. I guess they said, well, if Nonya thinks she's gonna get that slot, we're gonna fix her. No, I'm just kidding. They ain't thinking about me. But anyway, they're back on in the 11:30, which is a good thing, we think. But yeah, Stephanie Martin, welcome in. Welcome in, my band girl. Hi, Steph. Anthony, take your Shayla Love and Tell. Night night. Okay, Kai Kai. Ugh. We don't like Anthony. Gross. And he is so gross when he does that. Every time he does it, and but this time I got a tummy ache, like at the top, like, ew, make it go away. Okay, nature goddess says exactly. He needs to find his room and get some rest and sweet dreams for himself. Go take one of those pills and pass yourself out. He needs to be respectful. Now he figures, you're my wife. You have to do what I tell you. Yeah, I'm being mischievous. Okay. Wayne is adamant about Amber losing in the divorce, but not only that, he's going to have her go out disrespecting herself and women by sleeping with him again. And if he does that, if he's really that disgusting, then maybe he needs to lose about half his followers. If he really keeps doing this, trap star, and he's going to take Amber, of all people, and break her down again, turn her into something, you know, he's going to lose followers. You can't keep doing this. But Amber did say she's going to become the worst, most hated woman in Skitland. What does that mean? She said that in a live. If Carol CC is here, she probably heard it, or Marion. But what did that mean? I hope it doesn't mean this, trap star, by sleeping with him again afterward, the way he's been treating her. I hope that's not what Amber meant. I am afraid Amber could get weak and fall for it. Yeah, nature. But like Miss B said earlier today, Amber can always deny that anything happened. She can always deny. Amber needs to open her mouth and say, we're still getting a divorce. She does. That is why I said she needed to be honest with him and let him know they're still getting a divorce. I'm sorry, excuse me. Let's see. Anthony thinks he can do whatever he wants to do. I tagged him twice. Who did you tag, Magnolia? Wayne? What did I just see? Andrea Brown? Yeah, what did we just see? I mean, it made the top, my stomach go, not regurgitate, but just hurt. And they know just how to time it, And now we're back in the 11:30 skit time zone too, right? Did you guys pick up on that? Because I think we talked about it. What was it? Friday, or no, Thursday. How there's nobody in here, so we're gonna jump in here at 7. But I mean, we can still watch the video. I think they probably just didn't drop it for some reason, except on the cell towers, because most people work on their phones when they watch the skits. Andrea, I don't know, but it gave me a tummy ache. Right, Donna, she needed to remind him it is her space and he is intruding her space. Speak up. Wayne, that is. Doreen says, go see Shayla and give her some real quick. Yeah, she'll take it. She'll give you some of that. Yes, ma'am, with her nasty self. You guys are so funny. Let's see. I said that Amber has loose boundaries, yeah. And you're walking in there, Amber, with a towel on. That's a no-no. Go get your robe and then go get your oil. Don't walk around like that, Amber, in a towel. Just stop. Stop that. Stop that. She thinks that she's safe. You ain't never safe when you're in a divorce to be walking around with a towel on around your ex or your soon-to-be ex. You are not safe. Head to the guest house and lock it. Amber knows what her lawyer told her about not sleeping with Anthony. I guess his attorney didn't tell him the same thing. He doesn't care. His attorney, remember, Gwen told him don't hide money. Remember last year, and she told him that he could be jailed and fined for that. What does he do? He still went and hid money. I'm not kidding. I need to breathe. My stomach is like, You know how your stomach takes a drop like you're on a ride, like the ferry-go-round or, you know, whatever, drop zone. That's what my stomach feels like. It went like that. Nonya says, hi, please hit the like, share, and subscribe. Hi, Goddess. Welcome in, girl. I was on your channel the other night. I think you noticed. You probably have about, I'm sorry, maybe 15 stars from me and comments. My apologies. I just got into the zone. We were driving somewhere and I went on your page. I did share it out on your channel. I should say I shared it out and I had a wonderful time. I was just chilling on Goddess's page, looking at all the beautiful things on there, the people, the music. You know, it's a lovely, lovely work of art. Nature says she stopped giving him that loving even before Dave came into the picture. Yes, she did. And now people are going to say, oh, that was before Dave. No, I mean, that was after. No, that was before Dave also. You know, let's not let him get twisted. He sounds like it, doesn't he? But that's the voice he had when he wants some. It's like, ugh. And remember when she was in the bathroom and he wants to come touch her? I don't think, maybe a lot of guys don't realize we have a cringe monitor. Women have a cringe monitor. And Gwen says Anthony's looking out for Anthony to save his money. Mm-hmm. And until he starts losing money and shedding clothes from the emperor, I have nothing for him. Donna says that's all we need for Amber to sleep with Anthony. They will make me stop watching and support content reviewers. They'll make, well, I'm not going to say that. At least I'm at the point where I'm at least comfortable or getting more and more comfortable with doing skits without actively watching the skit when I'm doing a review, because I know the storyline so well. Even though I might forget a few things, I will tell you, what did I forget, you know, whatever. But I've not been one on here. When I first started, I did, but I tried to be, you know, perfect in my delivery, pitch perfect in the beginning. But the more and more accustomed I got to the way things are done, I don't go for pitch perfect. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I drop the ball. You guys help me. You guys will call me on it if I do. So I'm okay with that because I'm not a trained anchorman. I'm not a trained anybody. I'm not a trained make up this stuff person and just keep going. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake, and you guys will let me know, and I thank you for it, and you do forgive me for it, and I in advance. So I thank you for doing that, and I ask that you do that, and I ask that you tell me when I am wrong, when I am missing something. Please keep it going because you just make me stronger and better. Okay, thank you. Okay. This is all we need. Yeah, we don't need Amber to do all that. Have the locks changed in the AM and then security audio cams inside and out installed. The black tie body luxurious oil. It's going to be in her boutique that she's bringing up, and she was trying to bring it up by her. Me too, Goddess. But that's why I chose this slot. So, because nobody was really in it. So now they put them back at 8:30. So we can talk about, you know, if we want to stay here, if we want, because 7 o'clock actually works for me because it's not too early. 6:30 my time, which is kind of early for me. And then, but we're not going to go way past your time. So please just think of a time. If you want to stay here, we can stay here. There's no reason I cannot stay here. There's no overseer. You know, they're not going to tell me I have to move. This 7 o'clock is 90 minutes into the evening. So, and then this comes out, you know, 30 minutes after I've been here. So I don't have to move. That's not an issue. You never have to move. It's just at this point, this is my spot and I'm staying here. So, okay. So if you guys go somewhere else and when you get out, you can always come here because I'm going to be right here. I'm not changing our time. Is that okay with you guys? Stephanie, did you play your gigs? How were they? I was looking for you. I said I'll get to her eventually. But did you all hear that? We're staying right here. So, and it's after I'll be right here whenever you're done doing whatever you're doing. And Stephanie, I hope you had a good weekend. It was Mother's Day weekend. I hope you were busy, and I hope you enjoyed your weekend. If you are a mom, Stephanie Martin, I wish you a happy Mother's Day. Nature for the Holistic says Aunt is looking at the phone. Could it be Shayla is on there? Oh, I'll look when I get off because I'm not giving him any more clicks of my bait. I'll look at it when we get off. Everybody look and see if we think Anthony, if you don't mind, if you want to. That weasel is so disgusting. Keisha, he gave me a stomach ache. I'm not kidding. You know how that cringe effect is when somebody just, irks you out? That's Anthony for me. He's a trigger. He's a trigger for me. Yeah, he sounds corny, Juanita, like Marion says he grew up in the cornfields. Angela Atkinson says Amber should have ducked him with a pail of water, like Ernestine did Trey the other day when he's running hot. Magnolia says she won't get weak, as in desire, but weak in not saying she doesn't want him. And I understand that, Magnolia. I've done that because it's hard to say, I don't want you when you know that person either wants you or is up to something, whatever. But eventually, for me, when it comes out angry because I'm at the point where I'm like, what don't you get? Why do you keep bothering me? I don't, and then I just kind of go on one. Temper. Nonya, it means she will be sleeping with both Anthony and Dave. Yeah, if she got into bed with him, but she didn't. So I don't want to hear rumors tomorrow saying what she did with Anthony because she didn't do anything with Anthony. So we're not going to, you know what, Donna? We're not going to embrace that. We're not going to speak it into existence, as they say these days, which I don't use. But, Donna, we're not saying it. No, we're not saying it. We're not entertaining it. And I hope other people don't entertain, because people like to make up stuff and then run with it like they have a new storyline. There's no new storyline. We got what we got, right? So Danielle says if she sleeps with Anthony, I think she will pop up pregnant and not know who the daddy is. Yep. And it wouldn't be surprising for Kountry Wayne to do that. If he has all this energy for sex, then he's just fine. That's right, Trap Star. Let's see. Nature says she may stay in her marriage but carry on a long-term affair, kind of like what Anthony did. Like that. Like Anthony did. Yeah. Does it make it right? No. But again, like Anthony did, a long-term affair. Okay. Keep 2 men in her life due to Aunt what he was doing to her. I prefer for her to move on, start a divorce, life with a new person. Shayla is waiting. Yeah, go to your baby mama. She wants you back. Amber has no nature for him. I saw on the laptop. You did, Tyran? Because mine, and I tried, like you told me, bring up the videos, do this, do that. And then I kept doing it. And then about 23 or 24 tries later, I clicked on the unwatched again, and then it popped up. And I did exactly what I'm supposed to do, and Tyron, it would not come up. It did come up on my phone, though. Anthony knows Amber feels guilty, and she is trying not to get him upset, so he's taking advantage. Exactly, Keisha. And who didn't see that coming, right? We know Anthony, and we knew from this morning with his fake prayer, Keisha, that he was going to pull this nonsense. He was going to pull this nonsense. Trapstar says Anthony probably called his lawyer after she came home in a trench coat. He knows if she sleeps with him, it's adultery. He might have a camera hidden in the room. He might, but right now, Anthony's still standing on 2 left shoes. And as long as Amber just calms herself down, she'll be fine. But let's not forget, Anthony still has his own affair and baby of the affair in his lap. Now, the attorney didn't say anything about the first divorce being null and void. And so, since she hasn't said anything, I'm just going to assume that I don't mean to use the word assume, but maybe they know there's the affair. And maybe the way Brittany closed it out maybe she pinned it. You can pin it. I don't know what she did, but apparently Amber can still bring the old in because he's still working with Shayla and Kai, right? So it's not like she's not going to lose. The only thing she'll lose is if she stays with Anthony, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I do want to see her get back into her Bible, but the Bible seems to strengthen Amber. And then Goddess says, that's a no-no. Wear your PJs, hair bonnet, face cream. Don't look cute. Girl, I know. I used to put a mask on the mask. I used to put a mask on my face back in the day. And then I'd be walking around the house, the most attractive thing you ever want to see. Mm-hmm. And that's a real one. That's a bar, Goddess, because it works. That works. And Magnolia says, let's see, did I get that? The cameras, and then what was this one? Oh, that was me. Okay, and then Magnolia says, Amber has to let him get upset and have another attack if he wants to act up, Keisha. Because he's going to start acting up like, I need you to give me some. That's what he's going to do. I mean, am I just cold-blooded? I don't care. And I would be that way in real life. I'd be like, no, I don't care. I mean, that's really actually who I am. When I'm fed up, like with somebody like Anthony, you have nothing coming from me. Nothing. And I don't know. I always wonder, am I just mean, or I just don't like tolerating nonsense. Goddess says, I love your comments. Magnolia, you mean Magnolia's? He's not supposed to be in her bedroom. He sleeps upstairs. But I've done that. God, I'll put on a mask in a minute, like before, not now, but before, back in the day, I'd be looking like, whatever. You don't like it, go in the other room. I was at, yes, it's sickening, Juanita. Amber could have come with a mask on her face. Angela, yeah, and it works. Trust me. I've done it. And then, or Ernestine. What else we had? Let's see. Hold on, Keisha. I'm getting to your comment. Keisha says, right. I would have gotten out of there. Exactly. And let's see, we've got Magnolia said it wouldn't matter to him. He's backed up. Trap star, 2 left shoes. You're exactly right. Danielle, exactly. Magnolia says, yes, Magnolia, we need him to let Amber choose to go and see how she does without him. He's a narcissist. He doesn't want Amber anywhere he can't find Amber. He wants Amber in that house. And it says, how she does without him. And she got a new love and attitude. Yes, she does. Ooh, Amber got a new attitude. Patti LaBelle. Yes, she does. Stay grounded, Amber. Stay focused. Wayne may keep her legally separated because he might try to get at Amber again. He will. He will. He was already flirting with her, talking about he would grab the back of her neck. Yeah, that's what Wayne said. Wayne, we don't want to see it. I mean, let the girl move on. Why you guys want to keep her on a merry-go-round? Let her go. Little does Aunt know Amber likes her coffee black now. No more cream for her. Black, sweet, tall, and juicy. Did I say that? Keisha says, I know he sees that Amber is not into him. He just doesn't care. He's a selfish piece of work. Keisha, yeah, that's a bar. He sees it. And he knows that he thinks she's seeing somebody else. So what does that say? What does that say about you? Nonya, I wanted to come through the screen for Anthony. I know, it's like you want to just, well, we're not going to say, but yeah. Trap start. Cringe. It's like he's just, you want to just throw it across the room. No violence intended. Okay. She said not juicy. Dave, please call Amber tonight. Please do, Dave. Trapstar says, please call Amber. Yeah, please call Amber. Joy, Nonya, Monday through Friday. I'm still stuck on Anthony. Ugh. That image. Please join Nonya Mondays, 9 p.m. Pacific time, 10 Eastern, 11 Central, for have tea with me in the morning. I try to set this before I go to bed, so it's on overnight. So if you guys want to pop in to put a message out for just anybody who might come in. I mean, nothing like personal or anything like that, but feel free to just stop in. You can always leave me a comment at any time you see my red, black, and white box up. You can come in and say hi, or Nonya, are you awake? Something like that. But I typically set this the night before, unless I get up really early in the morning, then I'll do it again fast. And let's see, Keisha, you hit it on the head. And Antoinette says Anthony may need help. Yeah, Antoinette, I think Anthony needs some help, like 5 fingers. Sneaky Anthony. Trapstar says he's a fungus that won't go away, like a ringworm. Right? So, guys, it's late. What is it? It's 11:30. Is it 12:30 where you are? You guys want to say goodnight? And we'll see you in the morning? Oh, hi, Alexis. Alexis is ready to go. Okay. And Alexa says Anthony is ready to go. Yeah, he is. Let him go in that bathroom and take some oil and go handle his business. Anyway, thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you. Sorry I was a couple of minutes late because I was in there knocked out. And then I said, oh, my God, I heard my alarm. And I took off, washed my face really quick, blah, 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 blah. Good night, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully see you in the morning. Good night, Danielle. Good night. Good night, Nature. Alexis. Good night, Antoinette. Nature. Trapstar. Magnolia. Everybody. Gwen. Good night. Good night, Goddess. Nice to see you, doll. Okay. We'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye-bye. Good night.